Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at a really fun spice pick in the Classic Ultra League Premier Cup, and that is BOUFFALANT. Now, BOUFFALANT is a regional Pokemon exclusive to the northeastern part of the United States. Unfortunately, I don't have access to it, but thankfully these battles were submitted by a member of the community who does have access to BOUFFALANT. Now, BOUFFALANT is a very interesting Pokemon. It's a pure normal type with the moveset of Mud Shot, Stomp, and Skull Bash, so it can spam out these Skull Bashes very quickly. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and let's take a look at BOUFFALANT in action. Terrible lead game one, gonna save switch into the BOUFFALANT and baits out a Dragon Breath Charizard. Now, part of why BOUFFALANT is so deadly on the save switch is it has one of the fastest Skull Bashes in the game, and look how much damage that does to Charizard. Oh my goodness. They buff the defense, they go for the blast burn, and BOUFFALANT, thanks to the buff defense, surviving the blast burn, able to get off the stomp and flipping switch advantage. So right off the bat, BOUFFALANT proving its worth and flipping switch, so now the Nidoqueen will not have to face the Swampert. Brings in the Nidoqueen, and this Typhlosion will be going for the Blast Burn. Blast Burn hurts, the Nidoqueen can survive it, in comes the Swampert, and now going to bring in the Surfetch'd. He does have Leaf Blade on the Surfetch'd to cover for that Water type weakness that Nidoqueen has, and the Swampert gets one shot by the Leaf Blade. The opponent is going to trust in the Typhlosion. Going to start spamming out these Night Slashes, trying to fish for the boost. Not able to get the boost there. These Incinerates are chunking, but Surfetch'd is incredibly spammy. Going for another Night Slash, able to get the boost, and this is game over. You can just let this go. Could have shielded, but instead opting to go for the 2 shield flex with BOUFFALANT. Able to take him out, and that is a good game. Alright, hopping into the next match. This is not the greatest lead. We have Shadow Nidoqueen into Gyarados. Gyarados, of course, has access to the legacy move Aqua Tail, which will hit the Shadow Nidoqueen for heavy, super effective damage. Switches into the BOUFFALANT, trying to catch, unable to do so, and the opponent brings out a Shadow Snorlax. Going to be going for this Skull Bash right away. It's time to buff up that defense and do some big stab damage, but unfortunately, the opponent actually respects the Skull Bash. That is surprising. Not a lot of people know about BOUFFALANT's moveset. They go for the Superpower. BOUFFALANT is buffed up. Superpower is not going to be enough to take it out. But now this Skull Bash is going to be landing. Oh, that does huge damage. Almost taking them out. BOUFFALANT making the play for switch. Going to shield up, trying to Mud Shot down, and able to Mud Shot down the Shadow Snorlax. In comes the Gyarados, unfortunately not going for the Stomp, trying to force them to throw. They go for the Crunch. The Crunch didn't KO, but unfortunately it died on 1 HP. Going to bring in the Nidoqueen, and this is tough because Aqua Tail will hurt. Gyarados going for the Aqua Tail, they switch, and they have a Shadow Swampert in the back. So things are looking pretty rough here. Going for the Poison Fang, the Swampert can count. They know it's not the move that will kill them. And at this point, Surfetch'd going for the Night Slash, going for the boost. Unfortunately, not able to get to the boost, and this Swampert should be able to get to the Hydro Cannons here. They actually go for the Earthquake to secure the KO, and Nidoqueen not able to farm down. So a very efficient use of energy there, going for the Earthquake to guarantee the KO, and then able to get to the Hydro Cannon. So close game there, very nicely played by the opponent. Alright, hopping to the next match, and we have a Spice Lord. We have Shadow Nidoqueen into Lucario. Now, Lucario is very glassy, so honestly, straight Poison Fang probably hurts, but Lucario does have access to Power Up Punch and Shadow Ball, so it's a very tough baiting game. Opting to call it, and they go for the Shadow Ball. That is very, very rough. Going to be going for the Poison Fang. Lucario, again, doesn't have to respect it and farms down. Does have Surfetch'd. Surfetch'd should do very well here. Opting to let that go, bring in the Surfetch'd. And now the opponent is going to bring in Venusaur, so they're going to bring in the BOUFFALANT. Definitely needs to shield up here. Frenzy Plant would be doing a decent amount, but probably does not want to take a move until they've thrown the Skull Bash. Able to get the shield with the Stomp. That's big. Opting to go for the bait again. Can they get both shields here? And they do! Absolutely insane read to go for the back-to-back baits. and now Bouffalant will be able to land this Skull Bash, which will be doing massive damage onto the Venusaur. Unfortunately, the Venusaur able to get to a Frenzy Plant there. Frenzy Plant just about takes them out, but going to be able to connect with the Skull Bash. Skull Bash almost takes them out, and they have an Ice Fang Stoutland in the back. Holy spice. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, Ice Fang is a terrible move. They're not going to be able to get to a move. Lucario comes in and gets countered down, and they have the move loaded. They actually end up going for the Leaf Blade, but even the double resisted Leaf Blade will be enough to take out that Venusaur. So a very wild ride there with an opponent running some absolute spice. Fantastic lead. Shadow Nidoqueen into Shadow Machamp. Save switch into the Snorlax and going to instantly bring out the Bouffalant. Going for the Skull Bash. Now Skull Bash will be doing big damage onto the Snorlax. And it lands almost one-shotting. And now the defense is buffed, so even the superpower is not going to do a lot. They go for the Body Slam bait. That just does nothing to Bouffalant. Bouffalant going for the Stomp and able to win switch with a ton of health left. Now they're probably going to be bringing back in the Machamp. Now they're trying to switch out into the Surfetch. They're able to do so. They save the Stomp and they catch the move. Oh, they went for the Rock Slide there. I do not know why they went for the Rock Slide. Definitely should have just gone for the Cross Chop on the Bouffalant. Maybe they were worried that with the buff defense, Cross Chop would not have killed, but it definitely would have. Now Surfetched, able to get a shield, which is nice, and it's all going to be up to the Shadow Nidoqueen. Bit of a risky play there to give up switch. Going to bring in the Nidoqueen. The opponent catches, but the move is refunded, and now they're going to be able to go for the Earth Power on the Alolan Muck. The Alolan Muck does commit the shield, but unfortunately, they're able to catch onto the Bouffalant. Oh, that is massive. They catch the Acid Spray. Bouffalant still has the Stomp loaded. Bouffalant will be able to get off that Stomp. It really doesn't do a lot of damage, and the opponent resigns the match. Oh my goodness. All right, hopping to the next one. Shadow Nidoqueen into Empoleon. Obviously a terrible lead. Instant save switch into the Bouffalant. And the opponent is going to bring out an Alolan Muck. Now the question is, does Alolan Muck know about Skull Bash? They do not. That does big damage, and it buffs Bouffalant's defense. And now, honestly, it's probably in Stomp range. And Bouffalant is going to significantly outpace the Alolan Muck if it's just going to be throwing Stomps. Stomp able to take them out. Now, the Empoleon probably comes back in, but a Skull Bash will hurt. Empoleon, not the tankiest Pokemon. They actually bring in a Shadow Crobat, and they throw. Smart play there. Unfortunately, the Shadow Nidoqueen has basically no play whatsoever, but the Bouffalant still able to get off a Stomp, which is very nice. That does important damage. You have to bring in the Nidoqueen here. Oh, and the opponent does a very nice catch onto the Empoleon, recognizing that the Crobat is the win con, but now able to align the Surfetched with the Empoleon. Kind of has to shield this up. Surfetched is a very, very glassy pick. And now can they counter down? Yes. Leaving with energy is very nice because they're going to be able to threaten shields off of this Shadow Crobat. First Night Slash comes through, does get the shield, throws one counter, so they're only conceding one free turn of energy. Very nice mechanics. Night Slash, unfortunately, they will get farmed down. They just need to get to a move on the Nidoqueen. This is a tough bait game. They call it, and it's the Shadow Ball. That does huge damage. Unfortunately, they get to a Poison Fang. They just need to survive one more Air Slash to get to the move, and they're able to get there. Little bit of stutter at the end had me worried. Able to get to the Poison Fang. Even when resisted, that will take out the Crobat. Oh my goodness. All right, hopping in the next match, we have Shadow Nidoqueen into Shadow Snorlax. Now, this is a pretty neutral lead, but opting to save switch into the Bouffalant and going straight for the Skull Bash. As we've seen, this does incredible damage, and it lands, does huge damage, and buffs the defense. So Bouffalant will be able to tank any one move from the Shadow Snorlax. Body Slam, sure. Even if they throw a superpower, I imagine Bouffalant's probably tanking it as well. It is the superpower. Bouffalant tanks, but the opponent brings in Trevenant, and this is terrible. Trevenant is going to be double resisting all of the normal type attacks, And even though Shadow Claw's double resisted as well, they can go for a very ambitious farm down. Oh, they made it to the second Skull Bash. May not have realized they were getting there, and they're only going to throw the Stomp. Now that Trevenant has so much energy, and Shadow Ball will hurt. Kind of have to bring in the Nidoqueen here just to sacrifice it. This will be the Shadow Ball, and they're not far off Shadow Ball number 2. Oh man, that hurts a lot. This should be the second Shadow Ball that will be taking out the Nidoqueen. And from here, Surfetch'd at least should win CMP, which is very nice. So Surfetch'd going to be able to get off this Night Slash. This will be taking them out, and then it all depends what they have in the back. Instead, they opt to shield and farm up. My guess is they probably just go for the Seed Bombs to bait the shields, which they do, and they switch into the Snorlax, but Surfetch'd able to farm down. That just gives Surfetch'd extra farm, and it's Swampert in the back. This is absolutely perfect. Surfetch'd will be able to one-shot with a Leaf Blade, over farms by 1 extra counter to get a bit of an energy lead for when Trevenant comes back in. That does take them out. In comes the Trevenant. Will have to shield up, but this Trevenant is very, very low. Seed Bomb, and Surfetch'd able to counter down and get the win. Hopping in the next match. All right, Trevenant on the lead this time. This is a lot better to see it on the lead, as Nidoqueen can just ramp up these poison jabs, and it will be doing a lot of damage. Able to catch. Did they catch the Shadow Ball on a Bouffalant? Oh, what a catch! That is absolutely disgusting catch. They're going to bring in Sylveon, and Sylveon will not appreciate this Skull Bash. Skull Bash comes through. That does big damage to the Sylveon. And now, oh, the Bouffalant getting very low, but going to be going for another move. Goes for the Stomp, able to get the shield, and able to get to another Stomp. Bouffalant on a rampage, and able to, oh, just about take out the Sylveon. Sylveon does have a loaded move. Psyshock is super effective against the remaining Pokemon, so we'll probably just need to commit the shield there. But that was an incredible catch of the Shadow Ball. Oh my goodness. They have Goodra in the back, and Nidoqueen does what Nidoqueen does best. Poison Fang and lower the defense. Muddy Water will do super effective here. They're actually going to bank, switch in the Surfetch'd, and back in comes the Trevenant. Fortunately, Night Slash will be doing super effective to that Trevenant, so able to get the shield, and then opting to let it go. It's the Shadow Ball which takes it out. Oh, actually doesn't quite take it out, but the Nidoqueen can farm. Oh no, the Trevenant got to a move. Tried to farm down, but they got to the Seed Bomb there. It all depends who wins CMP here. Nidoqueen able to get off the Earth Power. Will this be enough to take out the Goodra? And it is, and able to clutch it out and get the win. My goodness, that was a close one. Lapras into Nidoqueen very roughly, going to safe switch Bouffalant and baits out a Sylveon. And again, going for the Skull Bash, going to start to ramp up that defense to make those charms do less damage. Now, hopefully this should just be the Psyshock, which Bouffalant can tank, which is very nice, and Bouffalant on very low health gets to the Skull Bash. Now this will be taking them out if they decide not to shield. They do decide not to shield, and Bouffalant able to win switch advantage. That is massive. Unfortunately, the Typhlosion got some nice farm, so the Typhlosion will be able to reach the Blast Burn, which hurts. But knowing there's a Lapras in play, you definitely just let this go, and you trust in the Surfetch'd. A simultaneous switch, they bring in the Lapras, and Lapras did have a little bit of energy, so they're able to outpace the Surfetch'd at first. But after that shield, Surfetch'd will be able to outpace, going for the Leaf Blade. Does get the shield, and these counters are absolutely chunking, and able to outpace the Lapras by a turn, getting into this next Leaf Blade, which should be taking out the Lapras, which is huge. In comes the Typhlosion, and the Surfetch'd plays for the extra counter. Absolutely fantastic play, as now they can just throw 2 counters, throw the Night Slash, and after they get the shield, they can throw 2 more and throw the Night Slash, and they don't have to worry about any CMP ties. Very nice mechanics there. Very precise gameplay in the end game. Able to get the win after Bouffalant flips switch advantage. Let's go. All right. Hopping in the next match. Shadow Nidoqueen into Gallade. Oh no. This is a massive core breaker. 2 of the 3 take super effective from Confusion, and the third is going to take super effective from close combats. Fortunately, the Gallade doesn't even build up to the close combat there, and going for the Stomp bait, trying to get the shield off the Gallade, able to get the shield, and now going for the Skull Bash. Looks like a confusion went through. Skull Bash lands, almost takes it out, but the confusion going through takes it out. That is unfortunate. They have energy, just going to soak it onto the Nidoqueen. Leaf Blade won't KO. Oh, they blind close combated. That's even better. They have Lapras, brings in the Surfetch'd. Oh no, they're double weak. Oh man, Gallade was their fighting counter, and they wasted it on the Bouffalant, and now Surfetch'd is going to absolutely crush their backline. That is so unfortunate for the opponent. Going to shield up the Body Slam, going for the farm down. Surfetch'd able to farm down, leaving with a ton of energy, and they will be able to land a Leaf Blade. And once that Leaf Blade is landed on the Lapras, that is going to be a good game, as that's going to get it into Earth Power range. Leaf Blade lands, that does a nice chunk, and at that point the opponent recognizes it and concedes the match. And hopping into the final match, Shadow Nidoqueen into Dragonite. This is definitely a positive lead for the Shadow Nidoqueen, so opting to stay in. And again, going for the Poison Fangs, lowering the defense and ramping up the damage of the Poison Jabs. Dragonite takes it and able to catch onto the Bouffalant. Very nice. Bouffalant is very tanky, that's what it's there for. And now they're going to bring in a Shadow Snorlax. Bouffalant going for the Skull Bash and able to get there. Snorlax building up some extra energy, and they are going to get absolutely smacked with a Skull Bash. Now, a superpower would hurt from here, but instead opting to go for the Body Slam. And again, over farming, so Bouffalant is able to get to a Stomp. Now, Stomp does get them very, very low. Bouffalant opting to shield up. It is the superpower. Nice shield. So Bouffalant is able to win back switch advantage. And now the opponent brings in Empoleon. Can Bouffalant get to the Skull Bash? They're just able to get to the Skull Bash here. And this will be doing massive damage to the Empoleon. That is resisted damage, and it does over half. Oh my goodness. Now, the Empoleon does have a Drill Peck here, but I think you just let it go on Surfetch'd and you trust in 2-Shield Nidoqueen. They're going to let it go, and simultaneous swap, and Nidoqueen should be able to close out this match. Going to be going for the Poison Fang, does get the shield, gets the Dragonite super low, and honestly, at this point, I do actually like that no shield. I changed my mind because you can counter down with the Surfetch'd, and you'll be able to counter down the Empoleon as well, and get the win. So very nicely played. All in all, these were some really fun sets. And Bouffalant, despite being a spice pick, honestly looks to be a fairly decent save swap. Obviously, only having normal type moves, it doesn't have a lot of coverage, but in a neutral situation, it can apply a ton of pressure with the Skull Bashes, and when it gets ramped up, it can flip switch advantage. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.